It is another blowout victory for Alabama. The number one Crimson Tide crush Miami. Is 44-13. Give me your one-word reaction to this victory here on our YouTube channel. Go down in the comments. Let me know. Let's get those comments flowing. We'll recap the game, talk to you about some of the performances that you probably saw if you watched the game. I'll give you my analysis, and we will take it from there. 44-13 is the final. Give me your one-word reaction. Mine is going to be dominant. We'll dive more into it coming up on the show right now. Seems like this is an every year occurrence, especially in these games like we have this year. Didn't have one last year because of COVID, but where Alabama takes on an opponent from another conference. A lot of big name opponents, USC and Michigan and plenty of others. And you think, oh, this could be the year. This could be a tougher game. And it always seems to be the same story, a blowout victory for Nick Saban. Nobody gets their team ready for a season opener like Nick Saban. And obviously, when he has any time to prepare for a game, to talk about college football playoff performances, tied in there every single year outside of 2019. D'Eriq King, a lot of hype around him. A few seasons back, he did really well at Houston. Hasn't really performed at Miami up to the expectations that a lot of folks thought he would. But Bryce Young was really the story of the day, especially early on for the offense. 27 of 38, 344 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. A lot of running backs got in there, and we'll talk about the running backs here in a second. But I did want to talk about Jameson Williams, the transfer wide receiver from Ohio State. He scored a touchdown, right, against Clemson last year in the college football playoff semifinal, and he showed out today. 4 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown. And some people said, well, Ohio State was so deep that their receivers have to go to Alabama, but maybe they just lost out. Maybe they didn't know how to use him like Alabama. New offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien and, of course, Nick Saban know how to use him. What a start to his career with the Tide. 4 catches, 126, and a tutty. On the other side, the running back position, a lot of guys think they deserve carries in this offense. And Brian Robinson Jr. got the start, 12 carries, 60 yards on the day. Can he hold on to that role? Can he be the starting running back the entire season? Had quite a few other players get yards, get carries here. Trey Sanders, Jason McClellan, etc. For Sanders, 8 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. McClellan, 9 for 36 yards. No touchdowns there. A lot of things happening in the wide receiver game. John Mechie, the third, 6 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown as well. 2 touchdowns elsewhere. So, Trey Sanders, though. I thought he could be a starting running back. I certainly thought his recruiting talent was up to snuff when he committed to the Tide a few years back. And 8 carries, you see 41 yards on the day, and a touchdown for Trey Sanders out of St. Joe, Florida. One of the bigger recruits from a running back position that Alabama's had in the last few years. So Brian Robinson Jr. got the start. Trey Sanders was there as well. It was more or less the one-word reaction. I kind of said dominant at the beginning of the show, but Alabama just put it to Miami this entire game. The offense looked like it didn't miss a beat. You're losing Najee Harris. You're losing a first-round quarterback in Mac Jones. You lost 2 top 15 picks in the NFL draft, wide receiver, the Heisman Trophy winner. This offense looks like it hasn't missed a beat. Hit that subscribe button, though. Chat Sports is bringing you Alabama football news and rumors and post-game shows after every single Tide game. Make sure to subscribe to us. We got the best content on YouTube for Alabama football fans. Want to make sure you guys are along for the ride. It is youtube.com/RollTideTV. How about Bryce Young now? What a performance from him. His 4 touchdown passes were the most for an Alabama quarterback in their starting debut. So what a day for him. 27 of 38 again, 344, 4 touchdowns. USC has got to be thinking, oh my gosh, we let that guy commit to us, leave Southern California, and go to Alabama, and he is showing out. Mac Jones was in the Heisman Trophy consideration last year. Clearly, he obviously lost it to Devontae Smith. But last year in the season opener versus Missouri, he completed 75% of his passes, 249, and a couple touchdowns, no interceptions. So Bryce Young, maybe I don't say more impressive, but certainly much more productive, 344 and 4 touchdowns. So if Bryce Young, he's got this season, and of course he's got next season. I don't think anyone expects him to be around at Alabama past the 2022 season if he keeps up these kind of performances. I'll ask you guys this question, though. Go ahead and grade Bryce Young's performance against Miami, against the Miami Hurricanes, who were completely overmatched. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F? I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to go A, no interceptions, no real boneheaded plays or anything like that. So I've got to give him an A. You might want to give him an A plus if you are a true Tide homer, and that's fine. A, B, C, D, or F. I'll put this one down in the comments. Go reply to what I have down there. We'll get the debate going because this is a great performance by him, and there's no understating that by any measure of the word. So 4 touchdowns for him in the performance. I'm giving him an A. So it's 44-33. Alabama beats Miami, and clearly at number 14, I think this was a wildly overrated Miami team. Alabama was up 27-3 at halftime. And Alabama, with the Tide 18 minutes, 21 seconds of possession in the first half and ran 15 more plays than Miami did in the first half as well. So this game was over at halftime. And I'm happy about this game. You know why I'm happy? Outside of the Tide winning, because I bet with BetUS. I put it out. Go follow me on Twitter. It's at James Yoder. I put money on Alabama because I can recognize patterns. Pattern recognition is a skill of mine. Opening season games in these neutral locations against big-time opponents, Nick Saban is as reliable as Microsoft stock's been for the last 30 years. So you can get going. I got going with BetUS. You can too. Chatsports.com/TideBet will drop you onto the page with BetUS. Use that promo code TIDE125. You'll get a 125% deposit bonus. Put 100, you get an extra 125. 200, an extra 250. 400, you get an extra 500, and on from there. Go ahead and get started with them. Chatsports.com/TideBet. Offensive stats here. 501 yards of offense for the day for Alabama. 354 of those yards were through the air. Outside of Bryce Young, he did all the hard work on the day. But Paul Tyson did have one completion I clicked off it there, but one completion for the backup Paul Tyson on the day. 1 for 1 for 10 yards, no touchdowns. Bryce Young did all of the damage there. 147 yards rushing, 44 points. It was an absolutely dominating performance. And the reason why, this Alabama program, the talent is overwhelming. You have 3 or 4 running backs who could start on most programs in the country. You've got a quarterback. You have 2018, you had 3 quarterbacks on the roster that got drafted in the subsequent 3 drafts in the first round. And it looks like we've got another one with Bryce Young. And so there is no missing of a beat with this offense. And most people are looking around in college football. We'll see what happens with Georgia and Clemson momentarily, but most people are looking around and saying, wow, this Alabama team has not missed a beat on offense, on defense, give up 266 yards, 178 through the air, and 88 on the ground, 13 points a game against a Miami Hurricanes team that's Darrian King, who was a Heisman Trophy candidate a couple years ago. Very, very impressive, and I think that you just got to love what Nick Saban is doing with retooling this roster for the upcoming season. Now, not everything was all roses. Our boy Henry Toto, I hacked his name a little bit. I'm not a pronunciation guy, but nevertheless, made a tackle in the third quarter, stayed down, was favoring his elbow. He got up, went to the tent, emerged later from the medical tent with a brace on his right elbow, but he was on the bench. He didn't have to go back to the locker room. He left with an injury, so keep an eye out for this one, folks. Hopefully it's not anything serious. Just got a stinger in his elbow, and he will be back next week. We will see. We'll keep you updated on that injury as things come out on this game. Defensive line, though, dominant as ever. Darrian King had nowhere to go. The offense did nothing, and it was a big part of that was the defensive line. Moore and Moody with interceptions. They got the best of Darrian King on the day with interceptions, and so I want to point them out. Mostly we're focusing on the offense today, okay? We'll go deeper into it on the defense throughout this next couple weeks. My guy RC will be back in a couple days, and he'll dive into this Alabama downing victory over Miami. But rate Alabama's D, not that D, the defensive performance against the Hurricanes. On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know. Producer Jeremy, what are you giving him? 11? He's giving 11. I'm going to go 8.7. 13 points. Come on. I'm damn zero. 11 from Jeremy, 8.4 from me. Go down in the comments. Let me know what your 1 to 10 reaction, your performance is on the defense. We'll be back with more Alabama football news and rumors. Probably not till Tuesday. Monday, Memorial Day, Sunday off. We'll see you guys back here Tuesday. Until then, roll Tide.